This program is about Project ReConnect, one of your best employment resources. Project ReConnect is a community networking initiative sponsored by the Florida Department of Corrections. It provides post-release job placement services to former inmates aged 25 and under who have attained their GED or completed an approved vocational education program. Project ReConnect helps eligible inmates find employment upon their release and also works with employers to develop job opportunities. Our students have been so good for Florida businesses that many companies are forming public-private partnerships with the Florida Department of Corrections. For example, Ford Motor Company recently upgraded its light maintenance and repair program at Dade Correctional Institution. And now women are also being trained to join Ford's team of top-notch automobile technicians.
You know, at Ford we have what we call corporate citizenship. And the corporate citizenship really is our balance between the business and making money and profits and giving back to the community. I mean, we look at this as an opportunity not only to provide technicians, but to give individuals, youth and adults, an opportunity to build skills for them to create their own careers. Once you get the folks involved with learning those skills, and then you couple that with giving them some true automotive skills that will allow them to perform and earn money, we find that many of these folks actually perform like anyone else that have had an opportunity to go to college through the traditional means. There's a tremendous requirement for the public and private sector to partner in order to make it successful.
Project ReConnect is based on the fact that thousands of ex-offenders have demonstrated a willingness to learn a trade, develop a skill, or advance their education while in prison. Studies show that an ex-offender who obtains employment is 3 times more likely to stay out of prison than one who remains unemployed. As of this date, thousands of former inmates have received services from Project ReConnect.
The supervisor was saying Project ReConnect is a very good program. I know an inmate that got out of here and got a job making $27 an hour, and they helped her go to school and go to Paris.
If they qualify for the minimum qualifications of the program, they can get all sorts of things offered to them. I had an inmate at one time that when he got out, he was able to, he had a home waiting for him, an apartment waiting for him, a grant given to him by community college to go back to school. He was able to go back and get the last little bit of hours to get his vocational certificate and actually became a certified mechanic, I believe, and also even helped daycare because he was a single father. And so the program can be used in all sorts of ways, and this is an example of an inmate used all the resources he could to be successful, not to come back. He did it for his children, again, going back to what was the level of his security that he needed to maintain. And in that case, he was a success story for Project ReConnect, in my opinion.
Let's listen to some employers who work with Project ReConnect describe their need for qualified employees.
U.S. Sugar Corporation has a need year-round for technically trained people. We use computer programmers, welders, mechanics, machinists, and a variety of other skilled trades. We have a workforce of anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 people, depending on what time of the year, and we're constantly hiring in these areas. My recommendation would be that they talk to employers such as us to find out the particular skills that we have need for now, as well as the skills and needs that we'll have in the future. Our needs change constantly, and by staying in touch with employers, I think they can better serve the people they're trying to provide jobs for.
I think one of the biggest things right now is the opportunities that these people have. If they were in a large town like Tampa or Miami and they got a job at a big dealership or a car dealership or at an independent garage such as I have here and applied themselves, I read in a magazine the other day, that one of the trade magazines, that there'd be no problem at all with them making $60,000 to $80,000 a year as an engine diagnostic technician. But now they don't call them mechanics anymore, they're technicians now, and they've got to know that computerized stuff. So the opportunities to earn are there. It's just a matter of applying oneself and then, making it happen.
Of course, it is not just technical qualifications that are important to these employers, but work ethic and attitude.
Well, what we look for in employees is dependability, reliability, people who have had good work records elsewhere, people we can count on with good learning skills, who have the ability to learn. Our jobs are constantly changing. So those are factors that are important to us. Interpersonal skills, none of our jobs work alone. Every job is a team with somebody else and dependent on somebody else. So our jobs require the ability to get along with your fellow employees, to be able to work as a team to produce a product.
I think one of the biggest things is the attitude, because indirectly, even though I'm the owner and I greet the people at the front counter, I operate on the business on the attitude that I want everybody to treat me like I want to be treated. And so a lot of times a customer will say, "Can I talk to the technician?" Why, certainly you can. And so you'd want somebody that has some communication skills that could explain to a customer, not in all the technical jargon that goes around in the industry, because I don't understand half that myself, but to explain it to a customer, the problem with their car, in terms that the customer can understand. So many times you find a technician and he has a tendency to want to talk down to the customer, like, you don't really understand what I'm talking about. So you want somebody that has the ability to communicate with people. I think that's one of the most important things, whether they're out in the shop turning wrenches or whatever, because they still ultimately got to go to the customer and say, "Here's the problem, here's what I found, and here's what it's going to take to fix it." And so to be able to explain that to the customer in an attitude that they could understand. I think work ethic, I think work habits, those are some of the most important things to me. Is being at work on time, being at work when you're supposed to be at work, and then having the ability to talk to and get along with other people, because you're working in close proximity with sometimes 3 or 4 other mechanics or technicians, and so you want to be able to get along with them and communicate with them and have the skills to do that with.
Employers are willing to hire formerly incarcerated people, and Project ReConnect can help put you in contact with them.
We don't have any automatic bans to employment as a result of being incarcerated. We have a number of people who have been incarcerated who work for us today, and we look at each case on a case-by-case basis, what their skills are, what their problems have been, and how they fit into our organization.
They've got to prove that there's been a change in their life, and that they're going to do something different now, that they want to make something of themselves, and certainly that's the opportunity that we as employers need to give them, to kind of set examples and say, hey, if a man's paid his time and he's done it, and he's learned a new trade and he's capable of doing that trade, then let's give him a shot and let him see what he can do.